Hello and welcome to the tutorial about how to use projection. Pop back to Pixlr and let's just do some painting here. So we've got an extra layer. Just create a empty layer on top by pressing the plus key. Let's come over here to draw and put in some color, and I'm going to go with this character being sort of, I don't know, light bluish. Okay, and I'm just going to paint over the body, and this is not going to be exacting, but it's going to be cool. And I've got a stripe here, and I got a stripe here, because I'm going to create another layer, put it under that, and then this one's going to be red. So I'm going to have kind of a cool red and blue theme with this character. And the legs are going to be red, starting about here, going all the way down. And I get to do that kind of slop over the top, since we don't really care too much, because we're going to be baking this into the character. And go back to this layer and let's take an eyedropper and get that paint again. I'm going to come into the brush, maybe get a little smaller size, not so much the softness, 0% softness. And I can come in here and increase it right here around the punch and get some blue. And at this point, if I want to see the exact place I'm doing these for opacity, is remember I can knock down the transparency pretty nicely here. So what you can do is just go semi-transparent on both of these. And you don't have to use two layers. This is just me being silly. Come in here to your eyedropper. Remember, anything you grab is going to have that half opacity, so be careful with your colors. Sometimes what I want to do is, if you want to take your colors and make them part of your palette that you can shift around, what you can do is this. Take the eyedropper, drop in the color here blue, then you can switch them out and drop in the color red, and now you have them permanently in your larder. And you can come in here for transparency and knock that down, and you still got this color loaded. So you can come into the, say, the belt, and really make that look nice and belty on the beltway. And same thing here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Is this on top? Okay, that is on top. So I'm going to take this and come in and maybe do a little erasing to try and make it more exacting, tighter edges, tighter lines like that. These are all little tricks you can use. I don't want to get too fancy about it, but I did want to give the character 3 different layers of color, which is I'm going to use sort of my own, use your own skin pigment if you want. I've got my little Irish fish belly white. But let's give this character some variety. You can use any skin tone color you want. And I'm just doing a solid bit of color around the hands. And I can come down here to the feet once I get rid of this ad. No, I don't want to make his feet. Well, I can do little ankle socks just to be funny. Little ankle socks. And then I got the blue loaded still, so I'm going to paint the rest of his foot blue with his shoe. So there we are. Moving up, I've got this character is all full of the flesh, so I'm just going to go over his face with flesh color until I get to about the hairline, and then I'm going to create another layer, and that layer is going to be let's make some nice shocking green hair, blue hair. What do we want? Blonde hair, yellow. I haven't used yellow yet, so might as well. And I just want to kind of paint in the areas here. It's looking very Minecraft for the texture, but this works because remember, we're just projecting it onto the character. So I want to take the transparencies out, make them full colors, and at this point save this out as a new JPEG, which is going to be the color for the character. And this will allow me to quickly come into Maya and trade that out. In fact, I can do it up here in textures. Just double click this, and instead of projection on downloads, I get to go to downloads and instead read in the color projection. Boom, look at that. Pretty cool. So this is what the character is going to look like from the front. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the all-important logo. So let's do this. Ready in 7 seconds. Oh, I'm forced to watch this, am I? Okay. And if I refresh, it'll kill me. Is that what's going to happen? Saving files, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Come on. Same problems you get, I get too. In fact, if I reload this, it should keep it, and it did. Good. There we go. Okay, we forgot the all-important front logo, so let's put that on. And I've already got yellow loaded, so what I'm going to do is paint maybe a... what else can we do? Shapes. Do shapes, frame, image holder, shape. I'll use shape. Shape is going to be a custom. It's going to be a star. Is there a star loaded? Well, there's a square. I want a star, man. Oh, look at that. There we go. Okay. That's fine. Heart guy. And I'm going to try and choose something kind of symmetrical because that's sort of what works. Remember, he's going to be in the middle of his chest, right about there. So this is now symmetrical. I can scale it up. Just keep it aligned, and boom. All right, cool. And save this out again. I'm going to do color. I wish I could just save over. And I could just start naming these variations because all I'm doing is testing whether or not this works. And I dare not leave now because otherwise it's going to complain at me. So let's read that new one in. Color. Boom. Okay, so there's the star. There's the star-bellied Sneetch, and he's got his. There's the wireframe. Okay, so this is kind of working pretty nicely. You know, it's his ankle socks are killing me.